What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another quick tip video, and today I'm going to be going into mixing, and today is kind of the first topic, first video in the mixing series for the rest of March. Every video except the last two, is going to be dedicated to mixing. I really hope you enjoy this. I think of mixing as a very systematic process, and I basically approach every single mix starting the same way. Of course, every song asks for different processing and different treatment, but the overall science behind it and the overall art is just as fun, and it really is a part of the creative process. So I'm going to show you an example of one of the projects I worked on recently. It was actually a song I worked on for potential inclusion in the Mulan movie, the remake. Unfortunately, it didn't get selected this time, but when I upload the song in April, you'll get to hear what that sounds like in its entirety. So let's talk about mixing in general. So mixing engineers used to be called balancing engineers, and the reason for this is because their sole purpose was to balance the different levels of the different tracks. Levels, I just mean the volumes. So whatever volumes each instrument was playing at, it was the balance engineer's job to basically tweak the faders until all the volumes sat at a comfortable level. And if it was a song with a singer, the singer would obviously be on the top, and then you would have all the instruments sitting underneath supporting the singer in the best way possible. And then afterwards, they can apply, EQ and compression and whatever it is to make it sound its best. But before this process even begins, what I like to do is I like to go through and put an EQ on every track that I use. Now, depending on the size of your project, you might go with maybe an EQ on only the very necessary tracks that have problems in the frequency spectrum, or you could just put one on every single one if your project's a little bit smaller. So in this case, I have how many tracks in total? I have less than 40, and 3 of them are for the vocals, which I lost for some reason, the lead vocal. So it was a while ago. I must have deleted the vocal file by accident, but again, you'll hear that on the official video. In any case, I have all the instrumental tracks here, and I basically went and applied an EQ on each track. So my EQ of choice is Pro Q2, now Pro Q3 with the update. But let me just play just a little bit and show you, what the song kind of sounds like here. So you hear everything is relatively clear. It has a sense of space. It has depth in it. And a lot of it is due to this pre-mixing process of cleaning EQ. So let me show you what I mean here. If I just go into this one, you can see I've done a kind of a high pass filter. So I'm cutting out a lot of the low end here. And that's because of the library itself. So for the violins, I actually use Cinematic Studio Strings. And this library comes with a lot of room noise in the sub-frequencies. So I just play this here. You see here at the very bottom, you see there's this low sub-frequency popping up. Now all of the string sections have this. So because this frequency pops up in every string section, over time and over the course of many tracks being stacked together with more room sound, it's going to create this muffled energy down at the very bottom that's not going to benefit the song. So I actually decided to take all that out, everything pretty much below below 50, and then kind of up to 224, because that part of the information just wasn't necessary because violins are playing high stuff, And then I decided to notch a little bit of the mids out, so around 500. I found there was a little bit of a boxy kind of wonky sound there, so I just pulled that out to make them a little bit more clear. But in terms of general cleanliness, I went through each of the tracks. Let's see if I can pull up another one here. Let's see if I have anything on Epic Hit. So here you can see, again, I've taken out low end. Where is that track? Over here. Do I have anything? I have one example of it here. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, so it's like basically timpani roll. So I found there was a little bit too much like resonance here. Let me just loop this bit, and so you can hear what that sounds like. So this frequency sounds like this. So it's a little bit of that hollow sound I didn't like. And then I wanted to boost a little bit of the airiness. So at the same time, I'm doing a bit of tonal EQ shaping there as well. But I took out a lot of this low end because it was just a little too cloudy in there at that area. So once I cleaned that up, it just tightened it up a little bit. But this is kind of how you prep your mix with EQ. So you're going through putting an EQ on all the tracks. Now, some people differ in opinion whether you should put on every track or just a few. I like to put on everyone just in case there are problems. If there aren't, I can take it off, or I can just leave it as is. Pro Q2 is good that it takes very little processing power, so that's very nice. But going through and removing any frequencies that just aren't necessary and that offend the recording. So if there's like a squeaky frequency, or if there's low buildup, as I showed before, that's basically where you want to apply this EQ before you actually start diving into the mix itself. And in the next video, we'll talk about some fun stuff. But in this video, I just wanted to show you why I do this, why I apply an EQ to each track, in case there's just frequencies that are not flattering to the instrument itself. So hopefully that makes sense. That is the first step I would take before I do any extra additional balancing or diving into the mixing itself. This is my first step. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll see you tomorrow in another video, and have a great day. Bye-bye.